in the hotel room, doing our last minute packing, getting all the meals put together, toiletries, clothing, and finding out the awful truth about how heavy our packs are. Packing extra meals, just in case the boat doesn't make it to pick us up. Rain gear, which we hope we'll never need. Emily's got the tent, fuel, first aid kit. And I got the stove and the water filter. What could go wrong? Hey, Em, how many pairs of underwear are you packing?
One to wear, one backup.
Oh, okay. I'll be in front on the trail. All right, we got the pack all loaded up. Everything fits. The problem is it weighs way more than anything I've ever packed. So this is going to be interesting. How's yours, Em?
It's heavy. 6 days worth of food is heavy.
This really sucks that we lost all of our Sherpas. With 4 kids, they used to carry all the gear. Now we have to do it all. Yeah, I'm already hurting. Just haven't even crossed the whole hotel room and my neck hurts. Having your final meal. It's time to carve up. Fish and chips with an Indian fly buzzing around. And a big old burger. That should do it. Got up at 6 o'clock. Doing the last minute preparations. Grabbing the last few things. Everything else is out in the car already. You ready to go in?
I am.
Looking forward to this?
Except the coffee pot salad.
Yeah, no coffee, so it's going to be a rough day. Got our lunch all ready to go. Okay, still go in the dock. Get in line. The vessel awaits. Hey, look at somebody listen.
Well, just 3 or 4 down, we start getting it.
I got
Is
it.
that one ready? Getting our first views of the island. Probably another half hour or so to get to Wendigo. Then we'll get our permits and start moving up the island. We're pretty lucky today. The water is very, very calm. There's almost no movement or waves on it at all. So it's been an easy ride.
so wild that it's one of the least visited national parks in the lower 48, so it's important to protect your park. Please pack out all trash or anything that you might have brought out to the island. Please pack it up and take it off the island with you. Campfires out here are limited to those pre-established steel fire rings. You don't see a steel fire ring if you see those rock rings or any fire scars in the ground. Those are illegal fires. Please don't have any of those. If I'm particularly dry and hot out on the island, last thing we want is a forest fire.
committed.
This is it.
Yep.
One must do it.
About 2:30 and we are on the trail finally. Well, on the balancing beam anyway. Not necessarily the trail. This is a little more like it. We've got an actual trail now. It's kind of the perfect temperature right now, don't you think?
I like the wind.
Little breeze going, a little bit overcast, not too hot, some tree cover. Well, it's about 3:45. We made it to East Chicken Bone Lake campsite. Unfortunately, it's not on the lake. It's on a ridge above the lake, overlooking a little bog. Our guide and outfitter is setting up the tent. We'll be having a good meal and good sleep here soon. Thanks, outfitter. Okay, without too much argument, we got the tent set up. And the most important piece of camp equipment, the chair. That was a grueling hike today.
Brutal.
Brutal, yeah. Elevation gain was horrific. So we're already into this hike 2.2 miles and we have not seen a single moose. I mean, we hiked that far and saw 4 in the Tetons. So I'm thinking this is a little oversold on the advertisement, but there's always tomorrow. Okay guys, here's the scoop. We had a change of plans. We were going to start up here at Rock Harbor and then come down and, I don't know, maybe take off at 3 Mile and come down, get all the way down here to McCargoe and then wrap back across the island to Lake Ritchie, I guess, and then back up. The problem is that was going to leave us either with a very long day on the last day or having to get up at 4:30 in the morning to make the last 3 miles to Rock Harbor before the boat left. Because apparently the boat stays overnight at Rock Harbor. So we slipped the captain a 20 and had him drop us off at McCargoe Cove. Tonight we just popped over here to East Chicken Bone Lake. Tomorrow we're just going to pop over here to Lake Ritchie. Then the next day we can maybe do a longer day of it if we want, up here to Daisy Farm. And then if we really get ambitious, we can climb up onto the Greenstone Ridge for a ways, then drop back down to 3 Mile. Then the last day, we can go on into Rock Harbor, check out the visitor center, hike this little trail without packs on, and then camp overnight and take off on the boat in the morning, getting up at a leisurely 7 o'clock. So, any questions? That's the plan. Having let her pad thai soak the requisite 10 minutes, I'm always going to dig in and see what we got.
Like just to soak another flag. Just
Oh,
get stirred.
that's a bummer. Well, I'm only supposed to go 10, but I'm going to let it go 12. It seemed like it was a little dry. On the menu tonight is home-style chicken and rice with a creamy sauce. Contains milk. I'm hoping that was not a mistake. It'd be a bad way to start off the trip with a reaction of milk.
3, 2, 1. Perfect.
Yeah, rice is good.
Excellent.
It is morning, day 2.
Morning.
Some of us are enthusiastic. Others of us are not very happy about the situation at the moment. The night was pretty awful. I'm not doing this much longer. My back was so sore last night. I just kept rolling like a gator in a death roll. Hopefully a hot breakfast skillet will get me going. Pack up and get out of here. Never saw any moose last night. Never even heard any moose splashing around down here, so I'll have to go see if we can find some elsewhere. Forward and onward.
We're off.
Our first clump of sumac.
Yeah, it's pretty.
You're a little moist.
Could be because it's 80% humidity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kinda gross.
Yep.
So now we're into a little bit different woods. A lot of cedars and firs in here. Less hardwoods. We are hearing some snuffing and snorting, thinking maybe there's a moose out here. So we're gonna see what we can see. Well, there might be something back in there, but you can't hardly see more than 20 yards, so we may not be seeing anything for the moment. They don't believe in maintaining a steady grade here.
No.
Just go straight up the mountain.
I'll switch back.
And this is a portage for canoes. So you're gonna be going straight up the ridge with a stupid canoe on your shoulders. Boardwalks here are just a little precarious. Well done. Half mile to go. We continue trekking the national parks.
Ha 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 ha.
So this is Lake Ritchie. Got Birch Island and then Hastings Island. Just a little further down the lake, we'll get to the campsite. All right, we got to the campsite. It's been about 3 hours on the trail today. I think this is where we're gonna end up putting it. I don't know if we're gonna put the tent there or just right here is another fairly decent spot. Got a bit of a view of the lake, maybe not the best, but this is also
a little more secluded than some of the other spots. So I guess we'll cool off a little bit and then get the tent set up and enjoy the afternoon. We're sitting here looking out over the lake, hoping to see a moose. We've been hearing what we think is a cow calling out across the other side. I don't think we're going to be successful trying to call it in though. Emily's moose calls are a little to be desired.
I was gonna let you call it in.
Yeah. Only thing I'm going to be calling in is pizza. Nothing moving. Well, looks like we're going to be eating good tonight. Chili mac, coconut curry, blueberry peach crisp for dessert. And what better place to enjoy it? Dinner's over. It's almost 7 o'clock, and we are backtracking down this trail we hiked earlier today. Hoping to see that moose that we've heard bellowing. I don't know if we'll find anything, but it's worth a shot anyway. Probably a better chance than if we just sit in camp. No moose, so we came back for our blueberry peach crisp, which is
Blueberry peach oatmeal.
yeah, not really a crisp. That's a bit of a stretch. It's about 5:30 in the morning. I've been sitting out here for about 45 minutes. Got a thunderstorm rolling in, coming in from the north. First raindrops are just starting to hit, so I think I'm gonna have to head for the tent. It's getting a little nautical out here. It's now 6:30. Here with a weather update. It sucks. Been getting pounded by this thunderstorm for a good hour now. No let up in sight. It's been a pretty eventful morning. It's almost 10 o'clock and we are just getting out of the tent and trying to dry stuff off, making some coffee and some breakfast. I'm sitting in the only dry spot in camp where the tent was. Got the water boiling. We moved everything out behind us to the rocks to hopefully dry out, or at least not get muddy when we pack it all up and get out of here. I'm not looking forward to wearing rain gear today. It is so muggy. I'm just going to be dying in those rain pants, but otherwise my pants are just going to be soaked. Thunder's still rolling and lightning flashing out to the south of us, and the mosquitoes are everywhere. Now that it's humid and wet, they are ferocious. So, looks to be a fun day. A fine and pleasant misery, as a famous author once said. So at 11 o'clock, we finally set off. Wet, weary, and wondering why we came here. Still no moose. It's going to be a very long, slow portage for this guy. Hi, buddy. Emily says she can relate.
Yeah.
Yeah, not sure where he's headed, but it's going to be a while. Kind of feels like you're hiking in Scotland.
And my kilt.
Yeah, that adds to the effect. As you're hiking out here, it's easy to forget that you're hiking on an island. It looks like it just goes on and on and on. I had to ditch the rain pants. The heat, humidity was just too much. So now I'm just letting Emily go ahead, letting her brush all the water off the vegetation.
Feels way better. I finally decided that my legs were already soaking wet inside the rain pants just from sweating. It wasn't going to make any difference if I just got rid of them. And you might have the idea when you come to Isle Royale that you're just going to find a spot to pitch a tent and not worry so much about getting to the established campsites. I can tell you that's not the way it is here. Unlike other places where we've backpacked, there's just very little open ground. The trees are dense, there's dead wood everywhere, lots of rock. It's almost impossible to find a place that you could set up a tent. Yeah, trail cam. So, best plan on sticking to the established spots if you're planning a trip here. It's going to be pretty miserable otherwise. We're taking a little detour over to Muskie Basin just to see what it's like. Hopefully Emily's not going to take a detour off of this bridge. So we've made it to Muskie Basin. It's a beautiful place, but unfortunately they left without us. The boat is gone. So far, I think this is my favorite spot on the trip. If I came back, I'd just hang out here, camp, do little day hikes maybe, but this is pretty spectacular. Aren't seeing a lot of wildlife, but sure a lot of garter snakes. Another thing unique about this park is that a lot of the trails run inland from the water. I'm used to hiking out in the west, Pacific Northwest, North Cascades, a lot of it. Anytime you come to a lake, the trail just runs right along the lake. Mostly because the terrain is so steep, you don't want to go any further inland. But here, most of the trails are back in quite a ways from the lake, which means you only get views once in a while. So that's kind of a bummer. You spend most of the time either deep in the woods or out on these exposed ridges where it is quite warm, even for late September. I gotta confess, I don't work this hard anymore. I am significantly out of shape. Unlike this fine woman here. How are you doing?
Oh, good. How are you?
I am
Toasted?
bushed.
Not so good?
Yeah, a little rough. So we made it to Daisy Farm. The inlet's beautiful, but campsites are definitely not as nice as Muskie. Operation Defunk is underway. There will be a cleanup of Lake Superior after this. She really wants to go all in. From the way she's walking, you would think that there were enormous boulders underfoot, but actually it's just gravel. Oh, she's going in. You're into baptizing depth now. At this point, you should just go.
What do bears do?
Not that.
It's really cold.
Those of you that were waiting for her to fall in have been disappointed.
I don't know if I can go farther down.
Oh, there she goes. Lake Superior has a mean temperature of 40 degrees Fahrenheit.
There's nothing there.
Delicious.
It's missing the end of his tail.
Is that good, little buddy? Huh? Better than nuts? Huh? Better than nuts? Beautiful start to the morning. The harbor bell been clanging all night, keeping me awake. The moose is back in the pond. We'll go over there and check that out. 8:30 and we are packed up and ready to go. Earliest start yet. impressive, even with midnight moose madness. It'll be another very bright day. Should be a little drier though. Almost to the mouth of the harbor. A good view of the lighthouse across the way. This guy's a little cold. He's not very active yet.
No, what is he?
Oh, he got a
Poisonous.
cool coil pattern though.
Very poisonous type.
After being treated to a moose last night, we're back to amphibians and reptiles. So this morning we're hiking the Rock Harbor Trail, going from Daisy Farm up to 3 Mile. This is the first time on the trip, day 4, that we're getting treated to a trail that follows the lake. Gives us some good views while we're hiking. This is much more what I was anticipating. People were saying that they didn't come up around 3 Mile because the trail was so rocky, so I'd be curious to see if it gets worse than this. This trail has been very good so far, so I'm not sure what section they were referring to. Emily's going to do her best to not fall in the mine pits. Well, that was a close call.
I almost fell in. I stumbled, but I stopped myself.
Well, it's not quite the China Wall, but it's about all that's left of the Sisquit mine here. Well, for the past hour, we've been listening to the drone of the generators that powers the whole complex, the National Park headquarters. There's a lot going on over there. So I'm assuming this is what they were referring to when they said it got rockier.
Yeah.
Well, we have just gotten in to 3 Mile. We're checking out campsite options. This one you can still see the headquarters and hear the generator. But it's a beautiful spot looking right out on the lake, so this might be it. Might be the last time that we have to pump water. I would assume that there's water available at Rock Harbor, so here at 3 Mile will be our last water fill-up. A gorgeous afternoon. It's been pretty rough just sitting down here, soaking in the views and sunshine. Debating whether to go hike some more. See what else we can explore before we have to take off. Can only take so much sitting. It's some time on our hands, and it being only 1:15 in the afternoon, we've decided to take a little extra stroll and cut over to Tobin Harbor without our packs and just see what things look like over there. Pretty dense forest cutting through across the island here. This is the Tobin Harbor Trail, and a lot of people take this to bypass the Rock Harbor Trail because it's significantly less rocky, and that's proven to be true. Most of this is pretty flat and easy walking. A lot more boulders on the Rock Harbor side. Visited Susie's cave, but she wasn't home. Yeah, this is a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
I would definitely like to see the guy that's scraping up these fir trees, though. We're just not having much luck. Back over on Lake Superior side now. The junction for Susie's Cave. Definitely prettier views from up here. This is the trail headed back along Lake Superior, back toward 3 Mile. I know this is a little more technical, but it's sure a lot prettier. Just gonna do some push-ups now. Hold that plank. You're a survivor. If we came in from a different side, this is the boat we could have been riding on. That's the Park Service Ranger Ferry. Looks like you got cabins on that one. Headed up to Rock Harbor. And there goes the Rangers, headed out there to give them their little what for talk when they arrive. I think this is a jack pine. Look at all these serotinous cones just waiting to explode. They need a good fire. It's a pretty scraggly tree though. It's a rough existence here on Isle Royale. It's a little hard to bring a board game on a backpacking trip, so we did the next best thing. We brought waypoints, which is a roll and write game. We're on our 3rd game now. So far, Emily is 0 for 2, so she's hoping her luck changes now. Three. All right,
How many spaces we get to go?
2.
Hey, that's one drawback to a roll and write game. I see it's backpacking themed, so that's pretty cool. So just like in real life, you got to look at the topo map and plot your course, figure out the best things to stop and see, and see how many points you get. Should be pretty straightforward. Well, it's 6:40. Sun's starting to go behind the trees. Just hanging out here watching the water and listening to an eagle screaming across the way. Got a couple loons. Had a fox run through camp. That was pretty cool. But this is it's a pretty tough way to end a hike. It doesn't get much better than this. Sitting in my chair, just looking at that. Pretty amazing. Wind's died down and the water's pretty calm now. There's a few mosquitoes coming out, so I may go into the shelter here before too long, but this is all right. I had to come outside just to get a little bit of footage of our last night. We got a full moon coming up. Streak of light across the water. It's pretty amazing. The breeze is so nice out here right now. It'd be pretty spectacular to just sit out here and watch the stars. Wish we could see some northern lights, but that's not going to happen with a full moon. But tomorrow we'll be in Rock Harbor, so we won't be seeing a whole lot of night sky there. I'm sure there'll be lights in the campground and lodge area. That's a pretty awesome way to end the trip here. It is 7 o'clock on the nose, and stiff back has forced me out of the sleeping bag. One more glorious sunrise. Did get to see the fox last night. I got up, sat in a chair for a while to try and give my back a break. The fox came trotting through camp, sniffing around a few things, and then took off down the trail. So that was a little bit of a reward. Anyway, we've got about 4 miles today to, 3 I guess, 3 miles into Rock Harbor, and that will be the end of our packing. Last day of the trip. Well, for what I hope is going to be the last freeze-dried breakfast, I'm having the premium biscuits and gravy. Waited till the last day just in case the milk in the gravy causes me some issues, but should be a nice change from a breakfast scramble with partially dehydrated meat chunks. I don't expect much different from this either. So anyway, hopefully this is a celebration and not a disaster. Yeah, I'd say that's about the sum of it. These shelters probably constitute glamping. They are pretty cool. Been making notes of the dimensions. They're about 10 feet deep and about 16, a little over 16 feet across. Room for 2 different
tents if you had to. Bug screen all across the front. Door on a spring. Yeah, it'd be pretty simple to build. You've got fake log siding, shingle roof. Only thing they're missing is a little deck out in the front to sit on. But they have these scattered all through the campgrounds along the lake shore. Nothing in the interior, but that's because it's too difficult to get the materials into them. They've been pretty nice to stay in. You don't have to worry about the bugs. It's 8:30. We are on the trail for the last leg. Looking forward to getting back to civilization. No.
Not at all.
Could stay here another week.
I could.
All right.
I have enough food to as well.
Well, I can't afford to keep you here, so let's go. The Ranger is headed back to Michigan. Just think we could be spending 6 hours going across Lake Superior if we were riding that. I just absolutely love these trails across the open rock. Just looks so cool. Even when you're not quite sure which way you're supposed to go. Emily has discovered some stray blueberries along the trail that other hikers have missed. So that's affording me a chance to sit and catch a breather while she catches up. There's the blueberry picker.
I stopped and ate blueberries.
We've been making good time cruising up the island. And we got our first view of Rock Harbor. That is as far as we need to carry the packs. Oh yeah. We have arrived.
This is it. Rock Harbor Campground.
Yep.
Okay.
Day 5 is over with. We left camp at 8:30 and got in here at, say, 9:45.
Yep.
So we covered a little over 4 miles in an hour and 15 minutes. Bringing an end to the misery and the stench, I immediately went to the visitor center, bought a clean shirt. I smell so much better. You, on the other hand,
Still stink.
still wearing the nasty.
It's
Anyway.
the hat that stinks the most. This thing's
Yeah,
going
true.
in the garbage can.
They did have hats. Oh, they just had beanies over there.
Just had beans.
Store's closed, so no cold drink. Anyway, so we've got all day to explore the island, which we are about to do. Explore the island. No, we're just exploring the point of the island. All right, let's go see what there is. Now wearing my fresh, clean shirt, we're gonna walk out to the end of Skullville Point, and we're gonna go at a slow, leisurely pace so that we don't break a sweat, right?
Good luck.
Emily thinks she's gonna sweat even if she's just sitting still.
In this humidity, certainly.
think we might be getting close to the end of the island. Headed out to Scoville Point, which is the farthest northeast that you can go. I think we've got to be getting close. There's the tip of the island. It's as far as we're going to be able to go.
We've gotten as far as we can go on Scoville Point without getting wet. This is the end of our trip. The boat should be coming from somewhere around the end of the island there to pick us up. It'll be coming in tonight, and we'll get to catch it out of here first thing in the morning. So hopefully we can get some showers and get cleaned up and be somewhat presentable by then.
There's the quintessential Upper Peninsula fishing cabin. Would you handle staying there for a while?
I could. It's beautiful.
So as I'm editing this video, I have no idea why we didn't record any of our response or reaction after we saw that wolf. It was by far the highlight of the trip, and I think we were just so stunned that we saw him that we didn't even film a single thing after he took off into the woods. So but yeah, that was absolutely amazing.
As luck would have it, the store was open and I got cold drinks. This is going to be so good after having nothing but lake water and Propel all week. A cold Mountain Dew. It's going to be awesome.
Just a fox.
Time to head to the dock.
This is it.
Yep. Bid farewell to Isle Royale and the glamping shelters. Let's go wait for the boat. One final walk down to the harbor. Getting on the boat and saying goodbye to Isle Royale.
Only after many hours. There's still a boat ride to go around
Yeah.
the island.
Yeah, we still get to look at the entire length of it from the boat.
See
What is it,
like
8-hour boat ride? Because it doesn't get back till 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we took our Dramamine. We're ready to go. And we are underway. Farewell, Rock Harbor. As our boat pollutes the atmosphere. Looks like our excursion firing up.
Yeah, ask them what the solution is.
Dilution is the solution. It's extremely calm today, so it's going to be an easy ride. At least,
Dramamine was overkill.
yeah, at least until we get to the open water.
I don't know if that finishes. You took me.
And we've been told that there is one stop to pick up 2 people at Daisy Farm, and then 30 people at the south end of the island at Wendigo.
So it's going to be a quiet, empty boat for the majority of the trip. Okay, here we go. Getting ready to pass the no wake zone and we're going to hit it.
Okay, I've been finding on this trip I've not had that many like
Park headquarters now.
which is weird.
A lot of stuff going on there.
I feel like this
I don't hear the diesel generator this morning. I'm sure it's running though. I just can't hear it over the engine.
this time I was just like but I am focused on getting there.
There's the old fishery. Closer look at the buildings there. We're coming into Daisy Farm. This is where we saw the moose. Just got a couple people waiting to get picked up this morning.
Field is backed up, and we had to bushwhack way out of the way to try to avoid it. There's a walk.
Now we're starting to hit the 12.
Yeah, okay. Can you say hi? I don't know. It looks like, well, I was going to
It's getting a little rocky rolly.
very rolling, much more so than the way out. Earlier I was thinking our Grenadine was an overkill, but
Yeah, not as hard though.
might be good.
There are times sitting down here in the cabin and I can see the water.
Yep. Oh, quite often from here.
Nothing left to do but to unpack all the gear off the boat. Everybody waiting to grab their packs and head for the showers. And that wraps up the Isle Royale trip.